Hi there. I had this suggestion from Heidi 2 or 3 weeks ago where she's suggesting if there's a way of monitoring the market volume against a selections volume as a percentage, so that if the selections volumes percentage is increasing, the indications are that the price will be shortening, and vice versa. If the volume share is decreasing, then the price is likely to be going out. Unfortunately, there isn't a way of automating that. Within the conditions, you're familiar with the idea of the selection historic relative odds. That's a mechanism that allows you to compare the odds of a selection over a particular time frame. There isn't a corresponding historic condition that allows you to compare a selection's volume percentage, although as you can see here, the volume percentage of a selection is available and automatically calculates a selection's volume percentage as a share of the overall market volume. So we're going to use that to provide something different, and this is really if you are manually trading. Let's just set up this rule completely. First of all, I've given it a rule name of monitor volume percentage. It's going to run whenever the strategy is assigned to the market. But what we're going to do is set up an execution count. Now, how often you have that count incrementing is up to you. We'll leave it set to 10 seconds. The action is going to be dummy. And the condition is going to be selection volume percentage. Now what I suggest you do is you set the choose selection to at runtime, and you set the greater than equal to 0. Now the reason for setting it to 0 is that if you set that to another figure, let's just say for the sake of argument 50%, if the share of the market volume for that selection it falls below 50%, then these iterations will stop because the condition isn't met. We want the condition to be met all the time at every point. So if you set that equal to or greater than 0, this condition will always be true. And that essentially is it. Let's just save that. And we shall assign this to a dog race since it's early in the morning. 9:20 at the moment. So we'll go for this race at Penrith. There's only 47, but there's 7 minutes to go, so I'll skip ahead. Right, we're coming up for a minute to the start of this race in Penrith in the land of Oz. So I've assigned the strategy. All we need to do is specify our selection. Now there's not a huge amount of money in this market, as you'd expect, being a greyhound race, but the principle applies if you're doing any type of sports trading. So we're going to go with Max Da Vinci, who looks as if he's the favourite. And as soon as we select that, all you need to do if you're manually trading is monitor this figure here. So every 10 seconds that is going to update. Now you'll see that's slightly increased. So you look at it again, and again that time frame of 10-second intervals, you may play around with that, and it's increasing still further. So again, according to Heidi, that would tend to indicate that the price is coming in. Now whether that's true for the greyhound market, with a very small market volume is open to question. But that's how you would use it in pre-race trading. Monitor that and use it as an indicator to help you decide which direction the odds are likely to be moving in the same way as you would use the weight of money that you would find here, the same way as you would use graphs and order flow and so on and so forth. That's the closest I can get to Heidi's original request. Unfortunately, it cannot be automated. And to be honest, I don't really see if there's that much of an issue with regard to automation compared to the selection historical relative odds condition, because it's effectively doing a similar thing. Anyway, you might want to go use that as an indicator if you are manually trading pre-race. Cheers!